It is hot in here. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Johnny Drinks Podcast. I'm your co-host, Johnny. I'm here with my father.
This is John.
Today, we're obviously festive. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It is the week. It is the season. I personally think, I'm going to hop right into this, that we live in the best area for this time of year.
I would tend to one of the best areas, and you know why?
Why?
Because of the weather.
Debatably, yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, a holiday like this, Christmas, without the threat of snow, I don't know what that's like, but to me, it's not the same.
It's not as exciting. You know,
No.
the anticipation of seeing snow Christmas Day or the week before, it may cause some struggle with travel, but that's sort of just embracing the situation we're in.
To me, they go hand in hand. I mean, the fact that we can, even as adults, look out the window and check the weather forecast and look forward to the fact that there's precipitation in the in maybe the 3 or 4 days prior to Christmas is fun.
It's crazy that like some people live in areas that there is no snow. They've never seen snow.
Nope. And I think they all know that that's the pinnacle of somehow the winter wonderland.
Until you have to shovel.
Yeah, then that's not fun.
It's not fun.
Like,
That was honestly
like our friends in Buffalo don't really want to hear about snow.
I got to be honest, moving out, that's probably one of the best things.
Because you used to shovel so much.
I used to shovel every year.
Yeah, you used to grind it. For who? Uncle Vin?
Okay, yeah.
How many years did you do that?
How many years did I do it? You want to
I'm asking you.
5?
No, you want to do this game again?
No, but
you want to go with the phone game.
But you say it like I
again.
did. You say
All
like
right.
you say like I didn't shovel.
No, you did shovel.
Okay, so
I wouldn't say it was like your go-to
in the winter
means of income. It was not something you.
What else
did
was I
it.
doing
You did it. You did it when he asked you to do it because he needed people. It wasn't something you said, "Oh, I'm gonna go work and go shovel and make some." It's not something you aspire to go do.
Nobody aspired to shovel. That was the point.
No, it's listen. I did it too, right? It's not a fun thing to do.
Right.
When it comes down in a couple inches, it's fun and that's cute and it looks great around the holidays. When it becomes a foot and plus, that's not. No one wants to go start moving that around. Yeah, I think what's worse than even a foot of snowfall is just as soon as you clear it, like 2 days later, it comes back.
Well, 2 days. How about a couple hours? Like that's even true. Putting me aside. It's not my profession, but there have been days that they'll go out for 24 to 30 hours straight. Like that's their work day. It's just shoveling different locations and then going back and finding out that the snow has just literally piled right back up.
Yeah, that's what they call blood money.
Uncle
Vin, my brother Robert, they know that from plowing, snow blowing, and something always breaks. And it is something that, again, the guys and girls and whoever is contracted to do that stuff for the commercial properties especially, because without them, you're not going to get to the store. You're not going to get to your Starbucks, your Dunkin' Donuts if it's not cleared.
Yep, got to thank them. Longest I've shoveled was, I think, 17 hours straight.
Yeah.
Miserable.
God. It's
just
bitter.
thinking about it gets me cold.
The only good
nervous.
part about that is that you get to go maybe eat something and get inside somewhere warm. Case in point, again, like a diner, if it's shoveled. Yeah.
Anyway, so again, we live in North Jersey. The reason I said it, that we live in some of the best areas, is New York City, right here. Imagine not ever seeing the tree. That's an experience.
Do you like
itself.
going into New York City around the holidays like this?
I really do. If I take a step back and appreciate how special that is, like I think sometimes you lose sight. Like we live near what I would consider the best city in the world.
Yeah, we are spoiled. We have it at our fingertips. We can, around the holidays, it could take. Listen, we're probably less than 19 miles to the city, and it's.
I can spit and hit the city.
You're now because you moved, but I'm saying from where we are here, it could take you an hour and a half to get in.
Take me an hour.
On a clear day when there's nothing going on, it's 30 minutes, but that's the misnomer, the problem, and the challenge with when you make plans to go into the city around the holiday times.
I feel like we've done that whole thing. We've gone as a family, Christmas month, seen the tree, we've gone out to dinner, right? What do we?
Yeah,
plays and stuff.
Sure, we've again, I believe leveraged the city to to balance what our appetite is. There's some people that live in the city, and there's others who would like to live in the city who just can't get enough of it. That's not us, right? That's not been us in our family. Yeah. We'll plan something. We'll go to a show. We'll plan dinner. We'll go out. We'll go do both maybe at times. And, around the holidays, from when you were younger through certain times where we can get everybody together, it's ideal to go in to see the tree. It's ideal to go in. Sometimes, listen, I've gone shopping in the city around the holiday time because it feels more festive because of the way Fifth Avenue is decorated and the way the entire city just pours out for that reason. Like every other big city, they're trying to attract people and celebrate not just one holiday, but I think just all the holidays. So it puts on its dress code.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's even a city that compares from like Hollywood standards more glamorized than New York City for Christmas and holidays. Like you don't really ever picture
no
anywhere else.
When they make movies, where are they making movies at? They're making it out of Central Park, New York City.
Yeah, because they get the
What's
snow.
one of your favorite Christmas movies?
I was actually going to ask you that.
Oh, I beat you to it. Well, what is it? Come on.
I mean, Elf is my favorite.
I mean, Elf has got to be. I think Elf is one of the best, if not the best. And when I think about that movie, I think about how it pulled the entire family together.
Oh, us
us as a family watching. I think everyone would agree. If that's not your favorite movie, it's top 3.
What's the cartoon with little Santa? He gets sick. He gets sick for Christmas, and then he has to have
the dentist. What's his name?
Yeah. And then he has the heat miser.
What is his name?
Oh, Mr. Heat Miser.
Yeah. Right? Hold on. If you're gonna say that, you got to know the name of the movie. I forget the name of the movie.
Is it a Christmas
those
movie?
movies growing up? Yeah, those are all Christmas movies.
No, is it? I think it's called a Christmas movie.
I don't know if it's called a Christmas movie, but those movies, pre-movies like Elf, and some of the more, It's a Wonderful Life is probably one of the. Huh?
Never seen it.
You've never seen it? No. Well, it's probably one of the oldest, more classic. It is probably the classic Christmas holiday movie that's out there. So It's a Wonderful Life.
What's it about?
It's about a lot of things. It's about a man who is really down on his, let's say, luck in around the holiday season, and because he sees beyond what would other people just identify as his own loss, his whole community rallies together and basically helps him out and brings back. It's a long movie that it speaks to a lot of different things, but it's a Jimmy Stewart movie. You'd have to watch it a couple times probably before you understood the message, which is the holiday spirit, and how everyone rallied behind him to help him.
Yeah, why? I've never seen it.
Well, maybe you should watch it.
Maybe I'll watch it. I have a couple days here until Christmas time.
You're not going to watch it. There's no way you're going to watch it. You're not going to watch it.
Says, The Year Without Santa.
Yes, that's it. The Year Without Santa.
A Miser's Brother's Christmas. That's the later one.
No. What's that?
That's they made another.
A Year Without Santa. A Year Without Santa.
That's it. A Year Without Santa, right? Let me see the.
Those were all the pre-animation. Well, they were animation, but it was the kind of the puppet.
Yeah, that's it.
It was the puppet animation.
That brings it back. I mean, that's nostalgic.
Who made those movies?
It looks
no,
like
it's not Tim Burton. It's not Tim Burton. But those are great movies. Those are the movies that I grew up on. Those are the movies when I was younger.
They're classics.
That we watched. Frosty the Snowman as a cartoon was a cartoon. That was always a great one. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those are great children movies.
Does Snoopy have a...
Peanuts always had a holiday movie. Sure.
They have a Christmas special, right?
Sure. I mean, the name, the most notable thing about the Peanuts, Charlie Brown, was the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Right? So that weepy looking, kind of nothing of a tree was the signature to the Peanuts, to that time.
Oh, right, because he was like the woe is me, bad luck guy, right?
Yeah, he had the proverbial black cloud over him all the time. Nothing went his way.
Right. He would get the rock for Halloween instead of candy.
Yeah.
We got to watch that. That's a go. I think that is a good classic. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say an overrated Christmas movie, The Grinch. I don't.
Oh, I like The Grinch too. Yeah.
No. I said
you don't like it?
I said overrated.
Oh.
I think people hype it up a little bit too much.
Cartoon to the live action.
Oh, I was thinking live action with who's the actor? Yeah, it's Carrey, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. But you know who wrote the book,
No.
Grinch?
Who?
And you can double check this. I think Dr. Seuss, right? So Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was the originator. That was the book that, again, I would say I first recall, and then it became into the cartoon, and then it came into what it is today with Jim Carrey, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's little sound bites here and there from that movie that people pull, but I wouldn't sit down and watch The Grinch.
Oh, I guess I don't know. If it's on, I'm watching it.
What are the top 5 Christmas movies? Let's see if we agree or disagree with the list.
Top 5 is Elf's got to be.
I mean,
top.
obviously, I would hope Elf is even on the list.
Miracle on 30. Here's what's going to be on it: Miracle on 34th Street. It's a Wonderful Life, and this is no certain order. Elf, and probably Peanuts, Snoopy movies in their top 5. So read them off. What do we got?
Number 5 on this list. So
Yeah.
these are the top 5. What's the
Top
who
5.
Who made this list?
Want to start at 6?
What? Yeah.
Start
Who
at
made
6.
the
You want to start at 7?
Who made the list?
Just
IMDb by popular.
Okay, here we go. So the IMDb top 7 Christmas movies. We're gonna start with number 7.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
okay. That's not really a Christmas.
That's
I
not a
understand
Christmas
why.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. It
How
is.
is that a Christmas movie?
Because the theme is around Christmas time. God.
We're not gonna count it. Exit out.
Go ahead.
Top 6 IMDb Christmas movies.
The Polar Express at number 6.
That
Express.
I
Yeah,
forgot about
that's
it.
a good one.
Honestly, I always thought it was creepy.
Tom Hanks. Yep.
Tom Hanks. I thought that was a weird time for animation. Like it was the crossover where they were trying to be futuristic and look CGI, and it was weird. I'd rather you go back and be a little more cartoony because you weren't ready. For
Oh,
like
whoa, stop! And I almost forgot before you read the next one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
li-
because he's got the nose. I just remembered that. Rudolph. Go ahead, now read your list. I just named 5.
You're not even listening to me.
I'm not.
All right, number 5.
I'm listening to Joe.
The Holiday. It's like a romantic comedy.
Stupid. Next.
Number 4, Elf.
Number 4, Elf.
Elf. Number 4 on the IMDb list. Elf.
We got to check another list. This list is not.
I thought
this-
IMDb would rank Elf at least 1 or 2.
This is by people, though. Popularity.
I thought
All
Elf
right, so
would
let's
be.
go. That's fine. We'll go. Ahead.
That's so maybe, but I wonder when they're like pulling these things because if you ask like the last 30 years, that'd probably be a different answer than like the last 50.
Oh, maybe.
Because
3 is Home Alone.
number 3, the
Home
third.
Alone. I was going to say Home Alone, but that's not a really hot. It's again around the holiday time.
No, that's definitely a Christmas movie. The top 3 IMDb ranked movies. Number 3 was Home Alone. I personally, I'm gonna sound like the Grinch here. I don't like Home Alone. I don't think it's that funny. I think it's kind of corny.
I liked it.
I think it's like maybe it's a little bit played out now because it's so old. Like it's so obvious what's gonna happen and like how do you fall for these stupid traps that
I
this
learned
kid
a
made?
lot. I learned a lot from that movie.
I don't know.
A lot of good stuff.
Maybe
there.
I'm just the hater.
Do you know when he was walking with the 2? You remember the scene? He's walking with the 2 bags from the grocery store, and they bottoms both
Yeah.
fell at the same time. Do you know how they did that?
How?
Do you know how they did that? They timed it perfectly. There was like fishing string, and when he gripped it, when he grabbed them like that, it pulled in the bottom, broke the bottom out. Yeah, that's one of those behind the scenes things. I saw it somewhere because I was like, how did they get it to just perfectly drop all the groceries out at the same time?
Wait, fish was cutting to the
It
bottom.
was like a fishing line or something he had in his hand, and he was told, he was holding it like this, and they
Oh,
grabbed
and he
it.
pulls it,
And when he
okay.
pulled it, they pulled the bottom open.
I guess like there's things like that are kind of creative in that movie,
Yeah,
and
that
like
was
it's like a
yeah.
okay, I can
Okay,
understand.
good.
So number 2 on the IMDb list for best Christmas movie is going to be
Love Actually.
What is that?
What?
Who's making these?
We got to go search something else.
Number 1, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Man, this
I don't agree with this list.
National Lampoon.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is not on there. Frosty the Snowman.
Man.
Go to another list.
So you actually didn't
Go to
you didn't get one right.
Go this. Okay, I didn't get one right from this list.
We're going to make a list
Let's-
together.
let's
We're going to
look
make
at-
our own Christmases. How about that?
All right. Well, we just did. I think I already contributed to a few of my top 5.
Well, if we had 5, right? We're gonna have 5 here. Can we both agree on Elf is 1?
Yep, definitely.
We're not gonna rank them because that's hard to do.
That's fine.
Elf is up there. Mm-hmm. A Christmas without Santa Claus, I think should be on there.
I'll take that. That's a good one.
We have 3 more.
I like
3 more.
I like Rudolph. What's
You think
wrong
I
with
can
Rudolph?
read that, Dan?
Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
Oh, that's a good one too. I would put A Christmas Story up there amongst.
I feel like it's a classic you kind of have to put on the list. A Christmas Story we'll put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Two more. Rudolph is. You know what? I'm gonna go Rudolph, and then I guess Grinch is pretty well known.
I wouldn't put Grinch up there.
Okay,
Top 5.
that's fine. We have one more.
I think again the throwback Miracle on 34th Street.
I've never seen that.
And It's a Wonderful Life. One of those
What's the one where like he's driving by and he's flipping the guy off?
What?
They're driving in the car and he flips the guy off and the guy then follows him. What movie is that? It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, that sounds like a Christmas movie. Guys flipping.
No, it's a well-known comedian actor. He's driving by the guy, cuts him off, so then he goes and flips him off, and then the guy starts following him. It's like a very well-known Christmas movie.
I can't help you. So well known that you know an actor, you know anybody in the movie.
You would know the actor. He's
male.
No.
I don't know.
What is the scene?
I don't know.
A bunch in Entertainment Weekly that we missed that I was like,
Like what? Dan, you got to find that scene for me.
Okay, so
look up like movie scene, drive by, middle finger, and see what happens. I know this is gonna come up.
all right, so we're coming around. We're
Yes, that's
Christmas
it.
Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Who's the actor in that?
Chevy Chase.
Yes. See,
Who was he giving the finger to?
He drives by and then he's flipping the guy off, and the guy then like starts following him, and he's with his family.
I don't remember the scene you're talking about.
Eat My Rubber.
All right, maybe it was Christmas Vacation. I don't remember the scene where Chevy Chase gave anybody the finger.
Please look this up. Dan, are you watching this now? Yeah.
So-
let's watch this, please, real quick.
We're having. How
Because
are we
now I
doing?
gotta watch it.
We're talking.
Yes. Look. Yes. See.
Okay. Yeah.
And now he's like, oh no.
Oh boy, Chevy Chase. He was big back then. He was big, man. He's still a very obviously popular actor. All right, so
That's great.
we figured that
Classic.
out. All right, so what else do you have when you think about the holidays? How about family and food, and what else do you?
Yeah,
what's synonymous with? Because whether you're we're talking about Christmas because we're Catholic, but what else is synonymous just for holidays?
Well, I will say we were born and raised Catholic. We've gone to church when we were younger. We sort of lost that tradition, but we always do hold true to Christmas as we may not be going to church, but we do make sure we take some time to pray, thank God and Jesus for the reason we're sort of celebrating in the first place. Not sort of, but the reason. That is something that we hold. That's our tradition. Doesn't have to be yours. We also then make sure that we spend a lot of time with family. Like when I think about Christmas, I really think about the entire month, and that normally growing up, we've had plans like every weekend to do something with a family friend of ours, which I don't know if we have any plan this year.
This year there are things coming up, but they're not as, there's a lot of things that have changed still to revert back to COVID. A lot of things got broken up.
True.
And it's unfortunate, but a lot of those traditions you're talking about, twofold. Here's what happens. One, it's 2023, and 3 years ago, we went through obviously a crisis in our country with COVID. That put a pump the brakes on everything, right? That stopped what was normally tradition, the things you would do. And as you go forward, now it's like a reset. And families were like, well, we did our own thing with just our own small family, and that was kind of better. We liked that. So people revert to, we're going to do that again this year. And I could see it in our family as now the family gets older and babies are born.
Yep.
So now you have a 1, 2, 3-year-old. Now it's their turn. They're forming their own traditions. So what was once a big, huge, for us, a pre-Christmas party with other people kind of went the wayside. It's no hurt, no insult to anybody. It's just everyone's doing their own little things.
It's
right?
interesting how quick you could have tradition for literal years.
Yeah.
And then 1 year changes and you're like, we're good with this.
Well, that's the reality of it. That's the unfortunate thing. And
gotta bring that back.
even from our end, look what we do on Christmas Eve. When you were younger, what did we do for Christmas Eve? Where did we go and what did we do?
My mama's grandma.
Okay. How many people?
A lot. To fit in
Pick
that
a
house,
number.
40?
At least 40.
Yeah.
Okay. The food we had,
Different.
fish, shrimp, obviously shrimp, anything that
I'm going to start getting
the
upset.
7 fishes was a big thing. And when you were younger, and even before you were born, I was part of that for 30 something years, 35 years. That's what we started with.
Yeah.
And as years and time go on, traditions change. People get tired of making the same thing. People can't always eat the same thing. And so things get compromised. You know, now you remember when you were younger and when we went to Mama's, who showed up at Christmas?
Everybody.
Who, in addition to family, who came? What was the high mark of the highlight? Santa.
Of course.
Santa came with an elf.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember?
Oh, when I was young.
Yeah.
Oh, like when it was for me. Yeah.
So
okay.
the location of where we were,
Who was that?
that was Mom and Papa's old neighbor. But where we were afforded us to have a Santa and an elf come and surprise you guys like they were delivering packages,
So
presents.
The elf was the neighbor. Who was Santa?
The neighbor is Mr. Gordon, and Mrs. Gordon was the elf.
Oh, I thought Uncle John was the Santa.
No, Uncle John was prior to them doing it. So again, these things change, right?
Explain briefly who Uncle John was to.
Well, Uncle John was a very big personality in the family who was really my father-in-law's brother-in-law, right? So he was married to Papa's and was married to Papa's sister.
Right.
And so he was a big personality, big guy. He did a lot of fun things, and he was the guy who brought a lot of enthusiasm, I guess you could say, to all these events. So everyone loved having him around.
I never met him.
Yeah, he would come to Christmas Eve, and he'd have a box and boxes of stuff, and he'd want this, and you pull it out, and you're pulling all these things. Like, where does this all come from? And everyone's like, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, what do you mean, don't worry about it? Just don't ask questions. None of it was wrapped. It just came in big boxes, and had some of it had price tags on it, some of it didn't, and it was just like, where'd it come from? Like, don't worry about it. Okay, good, thank you, thanks, Uncle John. So,
all I remember is that I could just picture the videotapes of him and Papa.
Yeah,
and that he was like his best friend.
Yeah, they basically, because again, it was his sister, and they grew up together that way. Mm. So there again, things change. People pass, traditions differ. As the family grows, likewise, it gets sometimes strained, and needs are a little different. You know, you have young children. When your young children are there, you can't necessarily stay out all night either.
Right.
Right. So anyway, back to the point of what happens on Christmas Eve, where we started 30-something years ago and where we are today. Today, now Mama's 35 years older.
Different. She's 82.
82, 85 years old, Papa, right? This is what happens. So now for them to host, it's harder.
I was going to say, like, I'm now at the age where instead of just being a part of the tradition, mm-hmm. I have to now create and build. Like, I'm now an assistant of, if we want this generation to keep going, we have the cousins. It's up to us to say, hey, look, we're not just going to order out food and eat whatever and do whatever. We're going to have these things set, and we're going to do this every year. I don't care if it's a pain. We have to go and do it.
And you have to.
Yeah.
The things that hurt and cost the most are going to be worth it in the end.
Just like we decorated today.
Yep.
And it was
worth it.
I'm going to look back on that and say, remember that year that I helped you decorate?
Just when you come and take it down, it's going to be a little painful. Won't be as much enthusiasm in the room. No.
But
you're going to have to take it down.
That's work for my assistant.
It's got to come down. It's got to get put away. It's got to get put away the right way. And then this way you can.
Diana will be helping
next year
with packing it back up.
Actually, I don't mind taking it down because that's easy.
No, well, yeah, that'll get it done. But yeah, even something like that, like, it's very fun for us to do. It takes a little bit of effort and work, but we're gonna love that.
I'm looking forward to tonight when it gets dark and those.
I'm telling you, it's really cool.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I put a ton of inflatables on the front lawn of my dad's house, and he really loved it. He was pretty thrilled.
I appreciate it. I do. I may not have seemed like I appreciated it. I did appreciate it. What I, again, can't help but notice are some of the imperfections of how you put it up, how the lines are crossed. You can't really walk, and there's no electric tape around the connections, because what you don't realize maybe is when it snows and rains, those things are going to short out. So you can't leave it like that.
This was supposed to be like a joke. I wanted to look terrible, and then I put it up, and I was like, this actually looks pretty good.
You have these, like you have surge protectors out there that are indoor surge protectors that plug in like this.
Yes,
they can't sit like that.
I know they're not.
They're going to get wet.
It was not planned
and
to
it's going
be
to pop
out there.
a circuit breaker.
I understand.
And then we're going to have a whole other mess on my hands.
No,
So now
like,
I have to, hopefully it won't do anything tonight, and then tomorrow I'll reconfigure.
We were actually hoping that we'd be able to plug one in and just like shut down the power lines. Like that'd be really funny.
Oh, like Chevy Chase and
exactly.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Classic. Maybe next year. Write that down, Dan. Anyway, yeah, so I agree. We have our Christmas traditions. They've changed a little bit, but Christmas Eve for us has always been really important. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure we bring that back, because now, look, 2020 Christmas, understandable. You get out of the tradition of the flow. You're with your family. You're thankful you're even with them. That's great. 2021, still acceptable. 2022, last year, I think, was the last year we can get away with not getting back to where there's no excuses now. We have to get back to what we once did. And if it's not the same thing, it's a different tradition, but it has to be a tradition.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, there's my side of the family and there's mom's side of the family. Mom's side of the family is very different than mine in that, number one, it's much larger, but that keeps growing. And so to the point of what I just said to you, now there's my nephews and nieces that are have children and having more children. So they're not going to, you can't blame them for travel purposes, logistics. You can't blame them for trying to jump in the car and have to drive over an hour with small children and babies.
It's easy for me.
It's easy for you, one guy, single guy. You and Eddie, and
Eddie's
Vin,
not single.
that's easy. Vin and Eddie are single.
Eddie's not single.
He got engaged?
Eddie's single. Eddie has a girlfriend
Yeah, but he's not married. I mean, he's not married. That's my point.
They're locked in.
Eddie, are you
Vinny
married?
is single. Well, we're going to air this in 2 weeks, so unless he finds a girlfriend
maybe someone's going to get a little surprise around the holiday.
Him and I will have empty seats yet again for this holiday. That's okay. We're waiting for the right ones.
That's all right.
Maybe that'll be my Christmas gift this year.
Yeah. So, oops, sorry. So, so that's again case in point. Now, my brothers, my side, like this year, my brother has a friend coming in from out of town. My Robert's friend. So he's flying in for the holidays. So they're going to host and have their friends. Yeah, which is fine. But
we're going to his house this year?
No, we're not. No, we're doing our thing here. He usually comes here.
So who's coming here?
I think the guys from Maud.
Joe is, actually. Joe, you got things to do on Christmas?
We may have to do an open house. Actually, link in the
bio,
bio,
do you really know
subscribe.
Joe, stop by.
No,
all right, what about you, Dan?
First of all, time out. When someone says
Joe and Dan are coming.
When someone
Joe
says
and Dan are coming to Christmas.
Let's use this as an opportunity. When someone says stop by, that's not an invitation.
Joe, you're an invitation. You are invited to Christmas.
An invitation is saying to somebody.
I just did.
Okay, but you said stop by.
No,
sure. What time on Christmas Day? What time someone's supposed to stop by?
I was trying to be conscious of his already existing plans. If you don't have no plans, if you'd like to come, we start at about 1.
I don't know.
About 1.
Just stop by.
1 p.m.
Anytime you
start
want.
time.
We open up presents at 9. Come at 9.
Just don't come.
Yeah, right there, the silver one.
Oh, we got something for you. Don't come knocking with both knuckles. You know what that means.
So let's.
You know what that means?
Okay. The saying is open the door with your elbows. He says knuckles.
No.
Open the door with your elbows.
Don't come knocking with both knuckles. Means you have nothing in your hands.
Okay. I never heard of don't come knocking with your knuckles.
Don't come knocking with both knuckles.
I
As in you
understand.
don't bring anything to the party. Come on.
Open the door with your elbows.
You're literally saying the same thing in reverse.
Mine flows.
Actually, call Uncle Steve because he says don't come knocking with both knuckles. That's how I heard it.
I'm not calling Uncle Steve.
Exactly.
Right now. My phone. Honestly, I don't even know where my phone is this time. I put
So
it
yeah,
away.
you guys are more than welcome. That's like something, and maybe this is me thinking about it as a 28-year-old single man.
But let's talk about that.
This is what I'm doing. literally talking about it. That's what we have a podcast for. I feel like if I had Christmas and I was hosting it, I would want everybody to come. Like I would want the biggest party.
Because you just want a party.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Well, you used to have a pretty big party.
Party?
Remember your Christmas party?
Oh, a holiday party for my office. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different. Those were great.
How many people?
Oh my God. I had over 100 at one point.
Really?
As big as it got. I invited everybody and everybody's spouses. It was great.
I remember those.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
I remember sleeping in the back.
That was in the mortgage refi booms. Those years when things
Those are the days.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. But I want to talk about a couple things you just touched on. One, the holiday and inviting people and really being fair and setting expectations, one of which is how you invite somebody. Like,
right.
If that is a serious...
Before you get to that, let's just take one quick commercial break. And we are back with this week's Christmas special podcast. We were talking about how to formally invite somebody to your, let's say, Christmas party.
Right. And so what you did casually was said to Joe, stop by. Maybe nothing wrong with that, but it leaves a little bit up to interpretation. Well, stop by when, and what are the details? Like, in all fairness to somebody who's it wants to be included, certainly, and is included to come over, you should say, here's what we do as a family, right? Here's what time we start. We'll be going till, we start at 1, we'll be going till 10 o'clock. All right, you want to stop by? At least now you're giving them a window, right? Here's what we do. We'll eat dinner at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they'll probably have dessert around 8 o'clock. So stop by. So now someone who's potentially going to take you up on that can make a decision. Do I want to come in the middle of their dinner? No. Do I want to come maybe for dessert? I'll text you. So maybe you text them and say, come on by for dessert. Whatever your gesture is, I think it's better received and appreciated by somebody who can understand what's really going on.
A little more formal. Like that type of invite that I just gave him is a cop-out for both. Like if I then said to him after Christmas, you didn't come by. He'd be like, well, you didn't really invite me. And then if he said to me, you didn't invite me, I'd be like, well, I did. I said that. Like they're both too blasé. If I really wanted him to come, which I do, Joe, I'd have to text him and remind him, hey, just so you know, you are actually invited to Christmas. Yeah. Here's when you can come by. Yep. And here's when you should come by.
Right, and it's nice that you did that. And I would never say that that's not something sincere. There's one thing you need to do in addition to that. What's the one thing you should do in addition to just asking them to come?
What?
Maybe ask the host if it's okay.
It's my house. I don't live here anymore.
You're going to have Christmas at your house?
No, I forgot.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
live here anymore, I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're coming here.
I know. I just had the epiphany.
So you just invited him to our house.
Correct.
So what should you do?
I probably should ask you.
Forget about me. You should ask Mom. So the person the person who is preparing the day should be taken into consideration. And I'm certain she would say yes. But in her mind, that's one extra person to eat.
Yep.
That's one extra person to set a chair for. These are some of the logistics that you owe it to the host to just have a conversation.
And you know what I've done in the past? Like I've done that where like I've said, oh yeah, come by, and not really thinking that they would either come or not. They're like, oh shit. Like I can't do that to Joe. Joe will take that invite right there and he'll come.
Well, what are you doing?
So if I don't want
what
Joe,
do you do on Christmas
I should not have
Day?
said that.
Do you have anywhere to go on Christmas Day?
He's coming here.
No, do you normally do anything?
No idea. It's always up in the air.
He's coming here.
Well, this is an option for you. And so would be those Irish guys you talked about. I would not be opposed to it, but would not be ideal is if it just all of a sudden 10 guys stopped by.
Yeah, I mean,
like that wouldn't be ideal.
Pretty funny, yeah.
Huh? Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Who was the other person you said was serious that you wanted to try to have over? We talked about this before.
For Christmas?
For Thanksgiving, we were talking about it. And you said the guys from...
The Irish guys.
And no, there was somebody... Oh, I know who it was. It was someone on my side I had spoken to. Right. Never mind.
Not me. So, like we said, Christmas Eve, typically at grandma's and mama's house. Christmas Day is here. You talk about the food briefly on Christmas Eve. I know you all know that I wasn't a huge fan of Thanksgiving food. and you guys had choice words to say about that.
Yeah.
Christmas food, however, I'm a big fan of. I love Christmas Eve and Christmas Day food. Christmas Eve is less about us, and Christmas Day we kind of take control of the meats we eat and the pastas and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's good stuff.
yeah, big steak day.
I always ruin the meat though.
Yeah, you do every year.
You know why?
Why? You're just
I'm
distracted.
drinking wine.
Yeah,
I'm drinking the wine while I'm trying to make filet mignon. Filet mignon is so hard to make.
I don't know why you do it.
I make it in one big loin.
I don't like.
I know, and I do it every year.
Yeah, make a different cut. No, last year we had strips.
Right,
Remember we had
'cause
the
I
big
cut 'em.
ribeye. Yeah, we
That's
did the
right.
big ribeye. We actually have a video. Well, maybe we'll tag it.
Oh, right.
Big ribeye.
So what are we going to do this year?
Do the same thing.
A big ribeye?
We should.
I got to call our friends at.
You know who texted me? Did I ever answer them?
Probably not. Well, we'll reach out for our friends. We're going
At
to talk to.
Kincaid's. They reached back out to me. Where am I
Oh,
from?
nice.
I gotta check that.
Oh, tell them we said hi.
That's what they said. They want to come up and visit again and bring some meat.
All right, tell them to come Christmas morning.
That would be great.
Open the door of your elbows, Big John.
Yeah. Don't come knock with both knuckles, buddy.
Don't
He can do whatever he wants. to
Don't
be honest, actually.
don't come dragging your knuckles.
He could. He'd break down the door. Big John is about 6'7", and unexpectedly 6'7".
He's a great guy.
Yeah, big
All right, so we'll give them a
personality,
shout
great
out.
guy. Yeah,
Still have a lot of love for you, even though he hasn't returned. Another guy, like the other guy that I won't mention his name again.
Who?
The one that's, you know who he is. No, you know who he is.
The what?
My bartending friend that we always talk about that never calls. He's not getting another. He gave that little.
He shouted us out.
He didn't shout.
He shouted us out.
He shouted out. He shouted out in a very general. I appreciate it. I was fine, but I'm talking one on one. There's certain people that I would have hoped. Well, just say hello. Say what's up.
He reached out. He shouted us out. He said we have a great family. He loved the
Yeah.
dynamic.
No, and I again, that's all good. I'm having fun with him. Even though
I
he's
just saw
not
him.
here.
I just visited him.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's doing well out there.
Tell him I said hi.
Dating porn stars and everything. What a
That's
life he's
crazy.
living, huh? Yeah, so tradition is food-based. Christmas Day. Dessert is always killer. Grandma makes her coconut cream pie.
Oh my gosh, that's the best.
That shit is crazy.
That's
that might be
fire.
some of the best dessert. That's fire.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, that may be some of the best dessert I've ever had in my life.
I eat a whole pie.
You know what I should do? I should make a video of her making that.
Go ahead.
Hey, Grandma, what are you making? Oh,
You should.
I'm making my...
Yeah, you should.
But then I have to film Grandma.
What she started to do is starting to make them in, because she makes one
Yeah.
big pie. Now she's making
Well, to
them
go
in
custard
cupcake
milk. Yeah, that's
things,
smart.
and those pop them in. Forget it.
What do you think is your most memorable Christmas as far as like the morning, like gifts or did something happen?
My most memorable Christmas
as a family.
I would say when you guys were really young and we were over at our other house, and I had one for me was having sugar delivered on Christmas Day.
Was that Christmas Day or the day?
That was Christmas morning.
No, that was spiced on Christmas morning. Sugar was at night.
Christmas.
Mom.
Oh yeah. No, hold on. It was. We did both 1 year, then the next year.
Yeah, but sugar wasn't
Christmas
on
Day.
Christmas.
The girl knocked on the door
Yes.
with that. That was spice, right? But both of those years, those were great. What better thing? Because on Christmas Eve, I had sugar.
Was that Christmas Eve?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Christmas morning. Was
Well,
it?
I remember Mom was yelling at me.
Oh, maybe it was Christmas.
Because like we had to go upstairs. Like, you know what was gonna happen? We were gonna surprise you. She was like, oh, everybody go upstairs and surprise Dad. And I was like, I don't want to do it. And she's like, get the fuck upstairs and go surprise Dad.
How were you going to surprise me?
We came down as in a surprise to you, and then you came in with the dog. So you guys, you reverse surprised us. But she wanted us all upstairs,
Right.
to go like surprise you.
So it was Spice. Then Christmas
Yeah,
morning, the girl
yes.
knocked on the door.
I remember that.
Oh God, it was priceless.
Spice was like this little ass Yorkie. She was the cutest dog. Oh, rest in
Best.
peace.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, she was cute from the day till the day she died. Sugar, not the same. Sugar actually had
different
one
dogs.
eye, was blind in one eye, couldn't walk. Tough to watch. Tough scene. Tough scene at the end of that.
I called her Uno.
Yeah,
She had one eye.
she was tough.
I called Sugar Uno. She had one eye.
And then I found my other dog dead. I didn't know what it was doing.
What?
Yeah, Keisha.
Who? Oh, Keisha, dead at my. Oh my God,
That was
Keisha died right by my bedroom door.
Oh God, that was terrible.
I had to pick her up,
I was so young.
put her in my car, and bring her to the vet. It was so sad.
So
All right, let's
sad.
not talk
Yeah,
about
what are we
sad
doing?
stuff.
What's
I don't
going
know
on
where
with
that
dead
went.
puppies? That's like the
how did
worst
we
thing
go?
to talk about.
We
It's
went from a happy
Christmas.
moment to a
It's
sad moment.
amazing. It's
you
Christmas.
talked about Keisha dying.
How about last year, my prank to you? What did I get you? Oh, I got you a nice big thing. You thought it was going to be Louis XIII, and then it was a Smirnoff Ice. Classic.
Oh, yeah, it was really funny.
That was good. Gotcha. But then I ended up, for the people that didn't know, because I had some comments like, you're a piece of whatever
Yeah.
son, and you treat him terribly, blah, blah, blah. I did buy him a gift after that. It was not, that
What'd
was
you
not
get
the
me?
only. I got you a really nice bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I
think a
still
big-
have that wine.
We gotta
Ooh,
open
I
it
got to
soon.
open that wine. I got
open.
to open that wine for Christmas.
Yeah. So I got him that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other like very memorable
All right.
Christmas mornings or things that we've done.
Yeah, well, what for you? What are some of the more...
I just remember, I don't know if this was Christmas time. I remember going to, when's the Macy's parade?
That's Thanksgiving. Oh, my God. You are so... How did you know?
I knew it was something. No, when did we go with the Joachims?
That was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that was the night before
Yep.
to go see the floats
God,
and
that was
all this
great.
stuff decorated.
I love
the
that
balloons
Christmas
get blown
tradition
up.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
a good
put
one.
the air in they start getting the floats ready. So they put enough air in them just to have them so they're, like probably 90% done. And then in the morning, they'll finish them. And then it's amazing to see how they do it under these big, huge nets. I mean, they're as wide as a street. If
Yeah.
you have never seen the Macy's Day Parade, Thanksgiving, whether it's even Christmas, and the balloons, got to go see it the night before. Watch them how they put those together.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible.
It's so impressive.
I can't believe that's not Christmas and that's Thanksgiving. But anyway, I think some of the worst Christmases is when you find out Santa's not real. That's a really tough one.
How old were you?
10. I asked mom because Jonah was my neighbor and he was 13. And he's like, Santa's not real, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking
Thanks a lot,
about?
Jonah. Thanks a lot, Jonah.
That was my best friend though. I haven't seen him forever. He was
He's
good
in
to everything, that
California.
kid. Man, I miss him. Yeah,
Maybe is he a follower? Maybe DM him.
Maybe I will. Yeah, those Christmases after, I remember I didn't even want anything. I don't want gifts. I don't want anything out with you guys.
Hold on one
Nothing.
second. Let's see. Do you think people that watch this, if anybody knows Jonah Zhang, or maybe someone's watching and knows Jonah Zhang, and he went to USC.
Did not go to USC.
He went to USC.
Nope.
Where'd he go?
UCLA.
Oh, UCLA. He went to UCLA? All right. So if you know Jonah Zhang, tell him John misses him. Let's see if they can connect up.
Thank you for that. I could reach.
I love his father, Dr. Zhang.
Great guys.
Oof.
Great people.
Good family.
Learned a lot about culture growing up because I was in a Chinese household. They're straight from
China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the craziest food. They were eating fish eyes.
So
Like literal eyes out of a fish.
So one of the things that we did when we were younger, we grew up on this block, it was United Nations. We had the Zangs next to us.
Oh.
We
and
had
Bard.
the Junakars across the street,
The Indians,
Indian.
yeah.
These are all right straight from their country of origin,
Yeah.
right? Their families. And they would have their parents at certain times come through too. We had the Paradas down the end of the street, the Misellas. We had...
The Paradas were off the boat, right?
Yeah. We had the Allens, Will Allen, and
Touchy
their
subject.
family.
Will Allen from the
was
Dolphins
good.
and the Giants was our neighbor.
Yeah. And so we had this great block of probably 10 families that would participate in this cul-de-sac. So a cul-de-sac is, the end of the road that doesn't go anywhere. So it's a big kind of circle. And we would do holiday around the world. And we would plan it so each family would have something. So, the Zangs, I think one year, this was totally selfish. We're like, all right, Zangs, what do you want to make? And they're like, oh, we'll make this, we'll make that. I'm like, no, I want you to make soup. And I'm like, because their soup was really good. We're like, you make the soup. So we each had a meal. We each had they had the soups.
really?
The Junakars had appetizers. We had I don't even think we did the pasta. We gave that to the Paradas because they were spot on, like
With what?
authentic Italian food. The Paradas down the end of the street.
Yeah.
And they had the huge basement. And they had the lions out in front, and they had the Sistine Chapel painted on there. So, I mean, this was like the real Italian Americans can get, but they were definitely authentic
I just
Italian
remember she
family.
had like the crazy hairspray hair.
Yeah, it was great. So anyway, we had a great time bouncing around from house to house. And so you were shared cultures of other families because of that. I think in large part because our neighborhood opened up like that, and you don't see that anymore.
No.
You just don't. People kind of keep them themselves, and that's fine too. But we went from house to house.
Well, how about that? We live right next to Indians right now. We've never shared food with them.
No.
We should do that. We should knock on the
Well,
Patel's door.
we just never. Again, it's just a different time.
Speaking of, I just came back from an Indian wedding, and I dove into that culture very well. They actually called us the whites because there was 10 of us and 490 of them. And it was the craziest wedding. And if you don't have an Indian friend, go find one and go to his or her wedding because it is the most insane 4 to 5 days you will ever experience. It is back to back to back to back chaos.
They spend millions of dollars.
Millions. Like
Millions.
literal
Like,
millions.
no, it's not an
This dude
exaggeration.
flew in on a helicopter. He rode a horse in. They had I've never seen cooler fireworks than at this wedding. And that was one night. It was unbelievable. So really cool experience. Unfortunately, I'm not a big Indian food fan. So a couple nights were vegetarian. That was disappointing, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Everything else was spot on, and they were just more than happy to have us there. Super company, like they love that family stuff. The dad said that any friend of my son is my son, and I said that's
Cool.
awesome.
Did you talk about how his son ran over my lawn, my new sod?
That was hilarious.
With his car at that time?
Yeah, Ravi
Brand new
did,
sod. Thanks a lot, Ravi.
Yeah, he did.
That's one of my favorite stories.
his Maserati.
And I saw it on the camera because I was like on the camera, and they were like, I said, "Who ran over the lawn? Who ran over my lawn?" I had brand new sod, brand new. It was soaking wet, and it just went down, and it had to be soaking wet because that's what you have to do when you get new sod. You got to water it. And there were tire tracks across my front lawn. Yeah. I'm like, who the heck? And they're all like, oh no, right? All
We
your
were like
friends.
17. We were young.
Yeah, you were young. All his friends were like, we don't know. I don't know. I go look on the cameras. I guess Ravi couldn't turn around from the driveway, so he decides to go over my lawn and pulls. And he didn't like rip it up, but you saw the tire tracks because it was so soaking wet. And right.
And he's the nicest kid. Like
Nicest kid.
He would never
goes,
try
I'm
to do
sorry,
that.
Mr. Ronnie. I didn't know how to back out of your driveway. I'm like, that's just fine. You just told me.
He is.
Instead of making me find out. I thought
Classic.
some other kids in the street like decided to, try to, do a drive-by.
Good times. And it's good. Like I think again, when I think of Christmas, it's less about the one day, more about the month of December, right? Post Thanksgiving to New Year should be and is for us a lot about family and friends. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Is really focusing in on what matters most in life and those relationships you cherish with the people that meet.
Yeah, and understand that encapsulates holidays in the spirit of it. You don't have to have a big family. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have all of the bells and whistles that by optics call out to it being a great holiday. It doesn't matter. You can have your significant other. You can have a few, 2 and 3 people in your family. You can make it nice. You can put effort into it and come up with something that's just your own tradition. And that is enough. Yeah. That should be enough, right? All the other things that get piled on top are bonus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to start this again. I have one Christmas party this year, which is sort of a shame. I wish I had more.
So when you go to this Christmas party, who's hosting the party?
Well, I was going to host it, but now Eddie's not going to be here.
That's fine. You don't need to host a party. It's nice to go to a party once in a while.
It is. That's what I thought. So
You've been hosting all these things lately. It seems like Halloween and all the other things you're doing.
How would you know what I host?
Did you have a Halloween party?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That was it. And my birthday.
Oh, okay. And what else? Nothing else? No other parties?
I used to host a lot more than I do now.
Okay. So now you're going to go to someone else's holiday
It's
party.
an ugly sweater party, though, so you got to wear ugly sweaters. I love stuff
You
like
got
that.
that. You here? You want to use this one?
That's not that ugly, though. Actually, I could use it. Yeah, that's cool.
Actually, I'm missing. Oh, here's buttons. You can use this.
I will
one.
borrow that one.
There's a couple other ones up there too.
That's good. I'll wear that one.
All right. So, holiday party. How do you go to a holiday party? How do you dress?
Knock on both knuckles.
No. How do you dress?
I'm going to wear that.
Oh, because it's themed.
Ugly sweater themed.
Oh, okay. So if it's not themed,
I'm dressing up. I'm wearing a Santa hat at least. I gotta be festive.
tell me what you're wearing. What are you
if
wearing?
I didn't wear that, well, it's in the building, so I'd be a little more casual. I would still wear something Christmas-esque, even if it wasn't themed.
Like what?
A Santa hat.
What's on your top
Sweater,
and bottom? Jeans?
jeans.
Really?
Yeah. Why? What are you wearing?
No, I that's what I'm asking you. To me, if it's a house party, it's definitely slacks, dress shoes, and some sort of either.
What?
Yeah, without a doubt.
You'd wear
Call
slacks.
If somebody invites me over their house for a holiday party,
It's an apartment complex. The room's
Doesn't
1,000
matter.
square feet.
okay, you're just asking me. Even if when I was your age, I'm just saying that's an opportunity to dress up. That's an opportunity to elevate your game a little bit. Shoes, slacks, something with a crease in them in the pants. And then maybe you don't have to have a tie, of course, but some collared shirt or a sweater, 3/4 zip with a collar or a nice. Yeah, that's.
Now
what
let
I'm
me ask you this: if it is I gotta get a gift. What are you getting as a gift normally for people for Christmas?
doing. So, listen, the easy go to is people always grab a bottle of wine, right?
Yeah.
And this is not scripted because we don't do that, right? Just today, I'm at the dentist. I'm talking to him, and he's like, "So let me ask you. You're a good guy to ask." I'm like, "Sure. What's up? What do you bring over someone's house for the holiday?" I said, "Here's my thoughts. Bring something that has meaning, that has a story, that has something that you can share beyond just a handoff, and they take and they put it on their counter, and then the next day they're like, 'Who gave us this?'" Right? Most people defer to a bottle of wine. Most people, because it's easy. Oh, I'll get red, whites, cut. It's really, I want to spend $20. I want to spend $100. That's easy. What's harder is to have something personal. Some people like to bake. So if you're a good baker and you want to bake cookies, that's a home run. Bring over your cookies. Some people make their own limoncello, their own eggnog.
How do you make
their
limoncello?
Seriously? We're going to talk about that again? We should make limoncello.
Oh, we should.
Limoncello.
We should actually. Maybe after
I'll
this
just
podcast
keep
we'll
going.
start.
Fabrizio. I'll just keep getting it from them. That's
They
it.
do a great job with everything. Anyway,
All
continue.
right. So he watches and follows us.
The dentist?
Yeah. He watches. He knows what we do. And I said to him, "Listen, selfless plug. You want to ask? You're asking me? You pick up a bottle of our bourbon, right? And now there's a story. And that to me is just an example. It doesn't have to be our bourbon, but something like that. Because if you don't make something, and otherwise you're just going to try to scratch your head and go down the liquor store aisle and what do I get?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe you get something maybe you went on vacation. He went away, actually, ironically, to Croatia. Maybe there's something there to remind you of that, or maybe it was a bottle you bought in Croatia, then you give to somebody else.
That's
Right?
what I do. I like that.
I think it's always nice to share something with some story or some sentiment behind it so that I'll never, again, Dave Zhang, we talked about him earlier. You know, the Chinese liquor that's downstairs and that gold, he gave that to me he probably gave that to me 15 plus years ago.
Wow.
And I still had, but he gave it to me for Christmas.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he made sure when he gave it to me, he told me a little story about it, how this was a special crafted spirit distilled like a sake, but that this was going to be something that you got to be careful when you drink. And he went through the whole thing. I was like, wow, this is great. And it's one of my treasured gifts. I would never throw that bottle out, even when we finish it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, I love learning about culture. So if somebody is from insert descent here, and there was something special about that culture, and you bring that to me,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love learning more about that stuff, and you sharing that is like you're sharing a part of yourself with me, and I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And then the opposite, like you said, if you know I like lemon cake, and you bake me a lemon cake, oh my god, that's way more sentimental than a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
And
a really
again,
good
there's
note.
nothing wrong with the important thing is, like you said, you got to bring something.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm thinking like,
I wonder what Joe's going to bring.
well, you know what's interesting because
I
I'm
wonder if Joe's. Let's make sure Joe has some parameters here. What's Joe going to bring?
don't put pressure on Joe. Yes,
Coquito.
that's what you should bring. That is what you should bring. I've never asked people to bring anything. I would like for you to bring some coquito, please. It's funny because I'm 28 years old, live in an apartment complex. I like to host. I like to have parties. I like to go to parties. You know the odds of somebody bringing me a bottle or anything when I have people over?
Zero.
Zero.
Because I don't blame them. Why would they bring that for you? You have so much liquor.
You don't gotta bring me a bottle. Bring me something.
No, they should bring something. Well, yeah.
I don't care what you bring me.
They should bring something.
And I think maybe it's just like,
It's hard to bring a bottle of liquor to
Is it?
Johnny Drinks. Yeah, that's hard.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like anytime I get invited somewhere, if I'm in your apartment or in your house, I'm bringing you something.
Yes, bring something.
You know who does?
but
My
you-
cousins do.
Okay, because they're
And Anthony
raised-
Lamberg. I have to shout out my one friend. Anthony Lamberg will always come to my apartment.
Yeah.
If I invite him to a party or even like a pregame,
He'll bring you
he will-
ammunition. He'll just bring
He would love to
a
bring me
box of shotgun shells.
He just brings me tequila, which is human ammunition. Gets
Yeah.
it
Boy
going.
Nick brought like the best thing I've ever seen something great.
What?
Your boy Nick.
Nick Tundo brought 4-year age
Super Sod.
Capricola.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was incredible.
Right.
See, it's the little things.
yeah, but he makes that though. So there again, that's
That
my
was
point.
great.
Bring something. You got to bring something.
He called me and said, "What are you doing today? I want to bring over
Yeah,
and eat this." So we got some cheese, some
Good.
Capricola, some wine.
perfect.
Petey Cooks cooked up some pasta. He
Perfect.
made a bolognese that was the craziest bolognese I've ever had in my life. It was. He really is something special.
Great. That's good.
Yeah, he is. He's doing. There's gonna be a point in time. Mark my words, like we said about with Joe Manella. He's gonna have one video that changes the trajectory of his page. He's right there. He's on the cusp there. And when he makes it, just remember where you filmed and who started with you.
Where did he film?
My
Where's he
apartment.
film? Oh, he can't film in your apartment all the time.
No, he films at home normally,
Oh.
but he comes to my apartment. Then I eat his food. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a good one to remember, guys. If you're going to a party,
Yeah.
bring something that means a little bit to somebody. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Perfect.
I'm gonna now start doing that.
Good. So enjoy. Find something that's special. Start thinking about it now.
Yeah.
So that morning of you're not stressed out and not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
People who make cookies are always the most prepared
Alyssa,
because they make hundreds and different variations, and they'll have them put away in tins, and then they just keep putting them on platters that they give away. They're the most prepared.
speaking of that,
Any
me,
baker.
me and my friend Taylor Kishfi, his mom would do a cookie exchange.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, you're a baker, you bake your cookies, 5 other people bake their cookies, you guys exchange. I remember when I was like 22, we would go there 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we would just raid this cookie exchange.
By chance,
somebody
were you guys?
somebody may have been
By
smoking
chance, were you-
substances,
yeah.
maybe not. And it
That's
would be
great.
a massacre of these cookies. It
That's
would
great.
really be so. And those are memories that we just
Yeah,
had.
great memories, getting all smoke and blown out.
I didn't say anything about
raiding
smoking
the cookies.
weed.
I
I
know
didn't say
you
anything
guys.
about that. But the cookies were. I can remember almost crawling out of this house.
Degenerates.
God, that was so good. The cookie exchange.
You didn't even taste them. What a
no,
waste.
Just inhaling at that point.
Great. What a waste.
Yeah.
Her
man.
cookies were delicious.
Good
They were
times.
dog biscuits, and you were still eating them.
I said this shit's crazy, man. It's
Fran,
like chicken.
Fran, I'm sorry they didn't appreciate
No,
your
we
cookies.
did. And she'd feed it to us. She'd always appreciate us.
She's always generous.
Yeah, she was always good with us. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
Christmas time is going to be pretty special this year. I have some big plans coming up. I'm going to now start, and I have started this year, planning ahead with my gifts. I think I appreciate when people think about my gifts, and I love seeing their reaction when I give a good gift. So I have to really put some more thought into not only what I get people, but who I get gifts for. Even
Yeah,
if it's
it's
something
hard.
little for a
Yep.
close friend of yours, that means a lot. So
And always, talking about gifts, have reserves.
Reserves?
Have extra. A real solid way to prepare is gift cards. I don't care if it's a $25 gift card from wherever, eBay, Amazon, you pick, doesn't matter. Buy 4 of those, $100, and have them. Because you're going to get caught in a situation where somebody gives you a gift and you're like, oh yeah, I have something for you too. Have reserves.
oh, okay.
Always, here's a pro tip, have reserves.
Just
have
in
a
case.
bottle, have an extra bottle of wine, have a couple gift cards, keep them in your car, keep them in your room, I don't care, but always have something like that.
Good tip.
Because someone, and you're going to think of it this way too. You're going to go to the car wash and you're going to say, oh, God, I always go to this car wash. I meant to bring this guy something. And now you're going to have this bottle in the car, or you're going to have a gift card you can give to somebody. You'll feel so good about that.
That's a good point. Yeah, think about people like that. Think about like
Yeah.
where you go on a day-to-day basis, whether it's a restaurant or
Yeah.
a coffee shop, car wash. Like these are things that people really love and
I
appreciate.
hope people listened long enough to the end of that. That's a very important.
We're gonna make a clip out of this too.
That is such something that again I learned over time, having experienced the other thing, which is like I said, I don't have anything for you, and you were thoughtful enough to get me something. Like, that's the worst.
That's a good one. Well,
all right,
everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you are celebrating. We appreciate you. That's it for today.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Cheers, everybody.
Yep.